We're here at the ELNIA, the Emerging Leaders of New York Arts, an event, a panel discussion that I'm a part of tonight, which is about the state of commissioning new performing arts works. And it's being hosted by the New York Music Theatre Festival, the Signature Theatre here on 42nd Street, and should be an interesting conversation.
So I'm responding either to an artist or a project. And in our case, it's more typically to a specific artist where we're approaching someone we want to work with and saying, well, what are you up to next? Is it something that we could work with you on? Is it something we could present? Is it something we could realise? But as often as not, it's the artist approaching us and saying, well, I've got a new show that I think would be good at PS 122, and then we have a whole conversation about the fact that our venue's closed, and that they don't really want to do it at PS 122. They've made a terrible mistake, and we're not a gallery in Queens, etc. And so there's a kind of there's no fixed model for how we do this. There's also no fixed number. There's no fixed nature of the relationship. It's a completely fluid game, which is difficult and makes our lives more difficult administratively and in terms of how we talk about it. It can sometimes make the artists' lives easier because they can come to us with a whole bunch of different ideas and things, but it can also make it much more complicated. Like, especially in our end of the spectrum, I feel like the sense that you should be, you should have no expectation to ever get paid for doing your work. I think that's changed. So while you need to be more involved in the business of presenting the piece as an artist now, or as an artist representative, a producer or whatever, I think the expectation that all the presenter is going to do is provide 4 walls and some lights and a front of house guy has shifted, and that's something that's really healthy and important. I think the recession's going to turn out to have been a really good thing because it forced all of us at a certain point to start making more difficult choices and to really commit to a particular project and invest in it at a level to succeed. And we could talk about what success means, but to invest enough in it to do that. And so when I arrived at PS about 8.5 years ago, we were doing about 55 different productions, whatever that means, a year, which might have been for one night, might have been for 4 weeks, and now we're doing about 15. But all of those projects are getting triple or quadruple the resources, both in terms of money, time, staff resources, equipment, space, everything else. Invested in each of them, and it's a much happier place to be. It's a much better situation for the artist. It's a much better situation for the organisation. Our paid occupancy is double what it used to be, and so I think, yeah, concentrating and doing less with more rather than constantly trying to do more with less has been really healthy. Any structure that allows the person generating the work to spend the most amount of time generating the work is a good structure that leads to good work.
Bravo.
A structure that requires them to be sweating contracts or anything else is a structure that leads to failed work. It's not to say they shouldn't be involved in thinking about how you represent their work as the artist of that work, but make as much space around them so that they can get on with and rehearsing the thing.
So I think that's a perfect way to end this conversation. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to all